Hi everyone, welcome back to another card video on my channel. So today I wanted to create a shabby card using this Prima collection and some of my dies. So the collection I'm using is the Prima Love Story, and I've taken out a couple of pages from the A4 paper pad and also a couple of sheets from the journaling note cards, which is 4x6, and I've also got out some of the coordinating flower packs, and I'm going to decide what I'll be using as we progress to the end of the card. So I'm just going to put these to a side and I'll show you the dies that I'll be using. So I've got out this amazingly beautiful crochet doily die from Tonic Studios. It's one of my favorite doily dies and the detail is amazing. I have actually already cut out the piece I'll be using, which is this, and you can see it is stunning. Absolutely gorgeous details, and I've also cut out a shadow layer with that. And then I wanted some foliage, so I'm using this Fern die, and I put the packaging away, but it's from CarnationCrafts and it's the small fern, and I'll put all the information below that you need to go and look for the items that I'll be using. So like I said, I've already prepped a few bits and pieces. So the card base I have here, and I wanted to do a landscape card. So this card measures 7.5 by 5, and it started its life as an 8x8 cardstock, and it's this beautiful cream colour. And the 8x8 cards you can get from Hobbycraft. So this is where this is from, and I just chopped it down, and I wanted to open like a traditional card but in a landscape format. So my layers that I've already got ready, I'll be using this beautiful like a tealy mint, very pale teal. It's like a hunkadory cardstock, and it's really nice. It's double-sided and it's got this pearlescent sheen on it. So I'll be using this as the base layer, and I've already put my tape on the back, so I'm just going to get a sticking. And this card is going to be really quick to put together. So this layer is basically going to sit on top of the card front, and is going to create this beautiful card layer. And then on top of that I have this beautiful design paper from the Prima A4 paper pad, and I love the really light colours. And the reason I've gone with this colour is because the flowers that I want to use, they can just enhance that colour and just make it pop. So I'm going to add this as my next layer with some double-sided tape, and then I've got the note card which is going to sit on top of there, and I put some double-sided foam pad this time because I want a slight raise here. So let's get this stuck on. So that's just going to sit in the middle like that. So these are my layers on. Then I have my shadow layer for my doily, and it is stunning. So this is going to sit quite flat on here, so I'll just use some double-sided tape and I'm going to get that stuck on. And the reason I'm using double-sided flat tape on this is because I want this bit slightly raised to create a bit of a shadow, and I'll just use some foam pad on that. So let's get this stuck on, and I'm going to slightly offset it to this side, so I don't want it central. I'm going to kind of have it to the side here like that. And I can see I've got some tiny little bits that need poking out, so I've had a bit of a tidy up and I can't find my pokey tool, so I'll just grab my Tonic tweezers because they're very sharp, and I'm just gonna poke out these little bits that are left in there. There's only a few, but you can use whatever tool you have to poke these little bits out. Really easy to do, and they are literally just dropping out. And I've got a few here, just a last few there. Okay, so that is my doily all cut out. I've done that. Just such a stunning die. I love it. So I want to create a slight shadow on here, so I've got a couple of foam pads that I'm going to be using on here. So I think I'm going to double up on the foam pads just for some extra height. and I'll put 2 more on top of those. And then I'm going to get this stuck on top of its shadow layer, and I'm just going to kind of marry up the edges and then stick it down like that. So you can see it's created this beautiful shadow. And then for my sentiment, before I actually put all my decorative bits on, I've got this Anna Griffin die cut. So I'm using a lot of different supplies which I have in my stash, and I've just freehand cut it out, nothing too neat about it, and I'm just going to stick that on there, and that is just going to go on some double-sided tape because I've already got a lot of dimension. I don't need this to be popped up. So let's get this stuck on. Like that. And then onto my embellishing. So I've cut out some of those little ferns that I've shown you using the same paper that I've used on this card. And these are what they look like. So I've got these. I've also cut out 2 in this tealy blue, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be using these or not, so let's just put these here for now. For my flowers, I really like this one, and because it's got a slight gold edging and lettering on here, it goes really well with these flowers because they've got the tiny little gold centers. So I'll pick out one of these in the larger flowers, and I think I'm going to go with some of the smaller ones in this pack as well. So let's get a few out. So let's get a few of those, and a few in this shape. These got pearl centers. I think that should be enough. So let's get them stuck down. Just going to bring my card here. There you go. So let's put these ferns down, and I want to kind of spread them out, give me some you know, I want to fill this space, but I'm not sure if I want these, so I'm going to have a little play and see how they look and untangle them. So probably have the teal to the background if I was to have them on, and then these, no, I think it looks too busy, so maybe get rid of the blue ones and then just use a few of these and then create my flower cluster here. So let's get these stuck down. So I'm just going to use some hot glue, and I'm going to kind of randomly just tuck them in, and I'm not going to be overly neat because the flowers will be covering most of the bottom area. So I'm just going to glue them in like that. Just add a bit of glue here, maybe have one on the top like that. Go in with my flowers. So I'll have the largest one here, and I'm going to create my cluster around. So I think I'm liking the large flowers, so I'll probably get out a couple more of the larger ones. Let's have a look. And I really like this colour. So this pack has these 2 which are a different design to the one I've already got on, so I'll probably get these out and use them, and then use some of the pinky ones. Yeah, I think I prefer these. So let's see how I'm going to put it on. And if you know me, you know I absolutely love using flowers on all my cards, and this will just come off. Let's get that stuck on again, and I'm going to give this a little squish to give it a bit of a shape because it's gone flat in the pack. Let's see, probably tuck that one under there. shift it along a bit. I think this one might be a bit too much. Let's stick some of these smaller ones on and see how that looks. So I'm going to go in and just start filling them all them little spaces. And this time I'm using some of the lighter colours, not the greeny kind of a colour, but the other colours that I've got, just to fill that space and fill it in a bit. And these Prima flowers are very handy, these smaller ones, because obviously you can fill out tiny spaces, and then probably use some of these different shaped ones. In fact, I actually like the look of these. So when they come apart, all you do is just lay them back up. So some of these smaller flowers look better when they're kind of layered. So this one is the same colour as that tealy blue, which I'm going to go for because I like odd numbers in colours. So these three can be the blues, and then I'll add a few more. Add one here, and then I like this pearly one here. So just have fun with your embellishing. That's how that's looking. And I think I need a bit of glue under here. I'm still having my thoughts about this. I'm just thinking if I should just maybe tear a bit and tuck it under there. Let me try another one because I want it to be spread out nice and even. So it's all about playing and seeing how you want things and where you want them to go. I actually quite like that now with these on a slightly different size. So I've just literally you just saw what I did. I just tore it, and I'm going to tuck this one here so it's a different height to the other one, and this one I'm just going to tuck behind that large first one on the top. Like that. And I'm not going to stick them all down because I quite like that movement on the edge, but if they're totally hanging off, just add a tiny bit of glue. And I think I want one more flower just here, and I quite like the look of this one. Probably add that one there. Like so. And that looks really, really good. And I'm not done yet. I think I want to add a little bow. So I've got some of this natural coloured baker's twine, and I'm probably going to create a double bow and add it somewhere. So let's snip a bit off, and just going to probably just create a rough double bow. And add it somewhere. I might not even add it at all, but let's see how it looks. No. Well, the other thing I can do is just do that and add it behind the flower here, or maybe here. No, I think I just want it as a bow, but I'm not going to do a double bow. I'll do a single one just to make it nice and not heavy on the eye, because there's already a lot going on. So let's create this little bow. And now this can either sit here, which I quite like, or down here. I think I'm going to have it just there, just to balance it all out. So again, a tiny bit of hot glue. Add it just there. Like that. So I think that finishes my card. I'm not going to do anything else because I know I can get really carried away. And whilst I'm looking, just thinking, should I add? No, I think I'm done. And for the inside, because people always ask me how do I finish the inside of my card. So this card, I have actually already cut a few pieces out. So this is one of the papers from the collection. So I've just cut it down to size. And I've cut it so it gives me a slight border around the edge, like that. And then I've taken another one of the note cards, and that'll be perfect to add your message to the person who's receiving it. So it's got the blank space in the middle, and that will just sit quite central there. So that finishes the inside, and there's the outside of the card. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for staying with me and watching it for nearly 17 minutes. But it was a fun card to do. I love all the layers. I love all the elements with the dies, and you can see how pretty and delicate this looks. Absolutely love it. And because I've popped it up, you can see the shadow behind, which I think also adds interest to the card as well. So that's it from me for today. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon with another card. Take care. Bye.